Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of my small segment released here on Patreon regarding the Rainbow High and Shadow High doll line, in which I am just, going through stuff. Major tin hat. I have a lot of feelings about this line. So, the next one that we are going to be getting into here is still part of the Rainbow High student body, and it is Meline Luxe. So I'll actually start off with her stats. So her home is Dallas, Texas. Her money status is elite upper class. Her club is Rainbow Divas, and her trauma is probably child pageants, Star Search, and intro to whistle tones. So once again, I am reading kind of their bio and then kind of tearing it apart just to, have some context here. So, Meline was born a shining star, draped in gold from the moment she came out of her mama in Dallas, Texas. The maternity ward said they had never heard a baby cry with perfect pitch. Meline was singing before she was walking, and in pageants from the age of 4 on. After she won Star Search at age 8, her childhood was filled with performing at state fairs, at local radio stations, and singing the national anthem at the rodeo. Though she had to be carried out into the ring, as she refused to get her outfit dirty. Meline has been BFFs with Aisha since they both performed at the Texas State Fair in the 3rd grade. The two met Sabrina in their first year of Intro to Whistle Tones, and the three have been inseparable ever since, mainly because Meline keeps them on a very tight schedule. So I'd like to take a moment to point out that child pageants are super creepy and have been known to induce childhood trauma. This could be the reason why we see Meline act the way she does in her teenage years, hence her snobbish attitude about getting a dress dirty at a rodeo. Combine this with her parents forcing her to perform at Star Search and winning, solidified in her small mind that she is better than everyone else. This also seems to go hand in hand with her tight schedule keeping, showing that at the tender age of 17, she is expected to be an adult, leaving no room to actually be a kid. That alone sets her up for failure later in life. Plus the fact that she is a dark-skinned woman of color who has to grind or die doesn't exactly set up a positive outlook for girls who look like her, who will be buying this doll. However, I'd like to point out a discrepancy with the creators of this backstory for thinking that a child of the elite upper class would ever be caught dead performing at state fairs. That's for the plebeians, and we all know it because the rich won't let us forget it. To continue, Meline has been known to fire anyone who screws up her lighting cues. Rumor has it, there were a few Rainbow High first years she gave a chance, but after they screwed up her spotlight during a rehearsal, they were never seen again. To be honest, this was the whole reason I started talking about this doll line in the first place. I'd like to know who was responsible for writing this into Meline's backstory. First of all, it has all sorts of nasty implications as far as her character is concerned. The worst of which is this. Meline is so used to getting her way that if anyone else around her even remotely makes a mistake, they are dealt with accordingly. This could be anything from ruining their school lives and having them expelled, to Meline taking the steps to make sure that they met with an accident, because it is heavily implied that that might have happened. Either by having her personal bodyguards take care of the situation, or she did the deed herself. The least terrible option that I could come up with was that she was actually a vampire who decides who lives and who dies at Rainbow High, but that's because the idea of a BIPOC character being a serial killer or something very similar because she doesn't get what she wants is so irresponsible of the writers. And if you're out there thinking they never said she was a serial killer, then you tell me where those kids went. Either through death or expulsion, it's pretty dastardly. Though Meline has always been a massive diva, she has an amazing relationship with her BFF, her mom. She calls her mom every day for advice. She's the only person she trusts as much as the Rainbow Divas manager, Coco. This is a nice add-on to try and redeem Meline's terrible personality traits, but it fails to hit its mark. Chances are Meline's mother is just as elitist as she is and encourages the cutthroat at any cost attitude that her daughter clearly has in spades. Honestly, I'd prefer the vampire headcanon for Meline, as it is the only explanation for her behavior that I will accept, as it is the least problematic. But also, I do, spend a healthy amount of time in the Monster High fandom. So, I mean, sorted, Meline's a vampire. She's just one of the blue-blooded vampires, and that's where we are. That's exactly where we are with this. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining me yet again for another breakdown of another Diva doll from the Rainbow High collection. So, yeah, I will be releasing more of these sporadically throughout the month, so just stay tuned, and I will see you all in the next one. Good night.